January 13th,
Friday the 13th.
1984.
Unlucky for some.
Yeah.
Some like number 13.
Yeah.
That's why the greatest hockey players all have a number 13 on the back.
No, 99. So anyway, we'll just set it right there. That'll work there. That's good. It'll be okay. It's working.
Yeah. What you want to talk about now?
Well, you're supposed to...
Where's the volume?
It's on the bottom here.
Oh, that's good.
You're supposed to tell me... That was up all Max. There, now it's Max. You're supposed to tell me what you did during the flood. Did you go out here and look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I moved upstairs.
Good for you.
Well, see if it comes over the top. It's skid.
That would have been that high.
Yeah.
Then it would have come
Yeah.
over.
Oh yeah.
See all the pieces of ice there?
Yeah.
So I thought the heck with it. Or
What
cold
else
so
is?
many times in my bed I can go in his bed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the trouble with these dikes, you know. Once it comes over, well.
What is want to go?
Yeah.
That little pipe there, what you got there.
Yeah.
That runs for a whole week before that runs away.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a sewage pipe in there. That might take some of it, you know.
Did you ever have any grand floods in northern Alberta when you lived up there?
No,
No floods.
no, I was lucky. I was never in a flood.
Bob was busy with the flood. He was in the same boat.
Yeah.
He had you had your storm sewers to clean out.
Yeah, all the storm sewers were blocked up. That much of snow on top of them. There's that much water on the main road.
Yeah.
And then it was all the road was blocked up. There was snow, you couldn't get rid of it.
When was that?
On the 4th of January.
Oh, this year.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I know. But here we were lucky.
And there was only 3 guys operating on the village.
Yeah, I
The
know.
rest were on holiday.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that was
That's
not
crazy. Yeah.
When there was an upper authority,
Yeah.
a foreman or so, who had something to say, he would have called the guys back.
Yeah.
They earn all year the money from the city, and when the city needs them, they were not there.
Well, the first time it happened, the snow came, the guy came out with a front end loader.
Yeah.
And he did more work around there. He didn't know what he was doing because everything was blocked off. You can't clean with a front end loader.
The foreman, what's his name?
Danny Crater,
Danny Crater.
Smut Drugas.
He was always by himself, didn't know what to do. First he came running here to me, he wanted something. I said, you have to go to Mr. Chapman or to somebody who is an authority here. The same way when the police came, shit, I couldn't give them any.
Oh, just chase them over.
When I have more days like I have today, I shake this shot and sickness.
Good.
I mean, I won't take it talk too loud about it, you know. But the way I feel today and this morning when I went up, there was not a bit of sickness in me.
That's good. It's coming back. Yeah, it takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, of course.
Good when you feel like after that.
I've had the stupid flu.
You were?
Yeah,
Well, I thought you were on the way.
Now we're talking fishing.
Now this is a replica of your famous lure.
What lure?
The lure that Fred had for pike.
Is it?
Yeah, this is a replica of it.
Oh, but it isn't got the same action.
It hasn't the same action, and you can see this is bent offset a wee bit here.
These things here, you know, I counted on the river.
Yeah.
I put a hook on there.
Painted it black?
Pardon?
Did you paint it black?
No, that was painted like that. I might have done little red paint on it, I don't know. Looks like it. Anyway, when I put it in the water, I got a big fish. By the way, that was the only fish I catch with this thing.
That was a pike, was it?
Yeah.
That's sort of a spoon.
Yeah, I had a different one. The best spoon I had. The best spoon I ever had was this one. So. I don't know who it is. But that was the
You
best.
used the Mitchell.
Yeah, I got Mitchell in there, Mitchell. It cost me
Lucky?
$28. Mitchell.
Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike. That's a good name. That used to be the name of a cigarette box. You remember those? Lucky Strike?
Lucky, yeah.
They had a bullseye on it, remember? A bullseye was painted on the front. Did you ever use anything like that in Ireland?
Oh, I don't think so.
You made your own spoons in Ireland, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, you made them on a tablespoon.
What did you say? You used to pinch it from your mouth?
Well, you know the
A big spoon?
get a big tablespoon, cut the table part off with the spoon end of it,
Yeah.
and drill a couple of holes and they're home free.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Put a split ring in both ends and a treble hook,
Yeah.
and we used to haul in the pike galore. But a silver and nickel works best. Silver on one, nickel the other side.
Really?
I had a table, a spoon on a table. I cut it took it from my mother's table.
Yeah.
I put a hook on it. I catch lots of fish with it.
In Germany?
No, here.
Oh.
In from my wife's table, my mother.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
In Germany.
Did you wonder where it went? The spoon?
Yeah, but could know nothing. I was the boss. Yeah. And I had to buy a new spoon.
Anyway,
It came out of my pocket.
did you fish in Germany? Ever fish
No.
in Germany?
No.
I'll bet it was a great adventure then when you came to Canada, all these fish and hunting.
Well, it was something great, you know. See, you couldn't hunt in Germany, it was impossible.
You had to be a rich man.
Well, you had to, my dad, he had his own hunting ground, you know.
Your dad did?
Yeah, well, but he had a foster, had to pay the foster and everything,
Yeah.
you know, to look after the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was very expensive.
Yeah, it's going.
Yeah. No, that'll catch fish now. I'm offered this, like,
Bob is very ingenious.
You never know. It's possible, you know.
Bob is pretty ingenious about this.
You can see the marks, the teeth marks on there. I catch lots of
yeah,
fish with
yeah.
them. But not the one like the other one I had.
That was even better.
Yeah, that's
And you made it.
yeah,
Whittled it.
he throw it away.
Yeah.
It was the same as this, Lucky Strike, eh?
Something like that.
Now that's even now.
But I put the ice and everything myself in.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had, mine was only 1 feet.
See, the big feature is the angle of this spread. See
Yeah.
this? The angle of that, and also where the position of this is.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it wiggles to one side all the time, you move this over, and that'll,
When it's bigger
Yeah.
to one side, the
And you
fish, the
can-
other fish bigger.
yeah.
The
You-
guy is sick.
you have to try it out. Now that's pretty well even. And this needs a little tune up here. That has to be straightened up. That's
This one there's nothing on.
Yeah, it's going.
that's gone.
Yeah, but I don't hear no music.
Oh no, we're recording.
Oh,
We're recording.
That'll catch fish now. All you need is sharpen up the end hook, sharpen it up good, and it'll catch fish.
Did I ever show you my collection?
I'm sorry,
That big box is all of me and my collection box.
Well, you got some of my old bugs.
Yeah, right.
I don't know whether I got one like that or not. Lucky strike. Trouble is we don't have any pipe in it.
Charlie Lake. What? Up by Fort St. John. Charlie
Oh,
Lake. That's right. Yeah.
that's about the only lake there is.
Yeah, that's all. And then the Peace River has some pipe.
Oh.
And the Peace River drainage there's some pipe.
Or the pike itself, blind fish.
You don't like the flavor?
No, I like the flavor. Pike, nice meat, white meat. But it's full of the fish. He stays there, you don't ever watch him. And when he gets mad and wants to grab something, he can see nothing else.
That's right.
That's right. He's only going to take that.
Well, over in Ireland we don't eat pike.
Why?
I don't know why. It's just one of those things. We've got so many one-legged ducks running around, buddy.
One-legged ducks. Did you get that, Fred?
Yeah. Let's see.
Joe, we used to catch pike. We put out deadline, go along the river in the early afternoon. We'll put out these set lines, and then we'd do a little fishing, in the evening fishing, the fly fishing, and then come back and pull in all the pike.
And throw them away.
I used to bring some home and boil them up to the
Good, man.
Oh, it really didn't taste bad. They're nice, just like an onion. Beautiful.
I know that.
White
We
meat.
had a river at home. Was full of eel.
Eel. Oh, yeah.
When the fishermen came and they had a bunch of eels for 10 cents. A bunch like that, smoked. You know, I sold them in the beer house.
10 cents for a dozen of them?
Yeah, well, at least, no, but a dozen is pretty. I'd say maybe in half a dozen or so.
Yeah.
They're all in that size, you know.
They're that red, aren't they?
That thickness, was it?
Yeah,
Thick.
well, just like a thumb.
Yeah.
They were nice for buying beer.
Well, I bet they were pretty easy.
Yeah. But the big eel is like
Conger here. As
know.
thick as your wrist.
Yeah.
And you know, the tastiest fish, or, well, I call it meal fish. The tastiest fish I ever had in my life was what they call sour steel. It was done in vinegar, and it was thicker than my wrist. Steak. And it was, I can remember that.
Where was that? Where did you
In Ireland.
Snow White.
Yeah, we used to catch the little eels, a little thin one.
Yeah.
That's so long, with a harpoon type.
You spear them.
Yeah, you had three sort of.
Yeah.
I tried them.
At night,
No, during the day.
you could see them swimming along. Well, you know where I had eel that I thought was good? In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
They had these big, fresh white vines.
Congers.
Great big fresh. And then they had this field eel. Wow, Carl was eating hamburgers, and I said, Carl, you eat some of this. Oh no, I want a hamburger, you know. And I was eating that smoked eel and that fresh bread. Oh man, of all the things I ate when I went to Europe, that stands out. It was that good. And then they had, ice cold milk. Dutch milk. Oh gee, that was good. I made myself hungry talking about this.
That's right. You know, you go in a country, or drive to a country,
Stop there.
you go in there and say, you like that is not so good. They never make that here.
The bread like that.
Oh, beautiful.
I do. I make good bread.
Apparently, because Schargee here, right? Not big, you know. I sure like that word.
I found that out no matter where you are. What country, what state, what province. Go to the small town where it says homemade.
Oh,
Forget those big fancy restaurants. Go in where it's a little restaurant,
Everything's fresh.
2 or 3 tables.
Yeah.
you take a slice of bread here
Yeah.
and toast it. And then put some butter on it right away when it's still warm.
Yeah.
You know how big that
I know. I know.
That's
It shrinks.
yeah, at least 1/3.
Yeah.
The air goes out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all full of here.
Oh, so many. Like you take there's no additives in our local bread here,
Yeah.
and that'll last for maybe 4 days at most. That bread. Now you take cracked wheat bread from the overweighty,
Yeah,
which is all additives added to it. That'll last for over a month. No mold on it.
Yeah, I know.
And that's not in the fridge or anything.
Yeah,
That's
but
outside.
there is something they put in there what keeps it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's something. It's not good for
No,
your tongue.
I agree. That is a big difference.
That's the difference.
It's like everything today. Now you take, I bought some bulk soup mix.
Yeah.
Well, to me, all it is coloured salt. It's just pure salt coloured with a little artificial flavouring in it. That's all it is. It's not the real thing.
What about good sausages, man?
The same thing. You know, when the health inspector, I had a friend in Saskatchewan. He was health inspector.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot, you know. And he says, when a real good sausage maker or butcher, when he would inspect some of the sausages they make,
He was thrown out the window.
they would come out in jail for lifetime, the butcher. That's what he told me.
Yeah, we had 4 sausage makers in our squadron.
They just make sausage?
Huh?
Oh, in Ireland?
In my squadron.
Yeah.
They were in the weekend, working the weekend, and they were sausage makers.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't eat their own sausages unless they made them specially.
Right.
So we always got up and said, who can make the best sausage? So we brought in sausages.
They're best.
They're real. They would never sell this stuff.
Yeah.
They brought good sausages in.
Yeah.
And anything they sold to the public, they wouldn't eat.
Is that bad?
So we said, well, try them. But first of all, the sausage maker had to eat his own sausage.
Yeah, right.
And
So much percentage guts are allowed in the sausage.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure, so much percentage. That's official allowed.
Yeah.
When they turn it over, you eat sausage, sometimes you find a piece back. You can eat on account of it isn't properly tough.
It's the same with lean meat. You get 30%, allowed up to 30% fat in
hamburger?
regular.
Yeah.
Regular.
Hamburger.
Hamburger meat, yeah. It's the same thing, just the same.
Same thing.
And then the lean, what they call lean, you're allowed up to maybe 18 or 20% fat or something like that. That's the figure.
It's a regular kind. But what will you do?
Boy, I've almost busted my teeth a few times on a hamburger.
Yeah.
Bones? A big chunk of bone in there. You clean down on it. Wham!
We made our own sausage, you know.
In Germany?
No, here.
In Scotland?
Canada.
Yeah.
And there was a German fella in Prince Albert, he had a garage. And he offered me enormous price for the sausage.
He got there that.
But he know what was good and what was not good. I mean, take so much beef and so much pork. And I forget now what it was. I think 15% beef was in the pork, mixed in there as pork sausage, you know. And when you had all this good stuff, you know, and had clean fingers, clean hands, and mixed it up yourself, tries to eat that stuff and it's such an appetite. And then when you smoke it yourself, you know, for about a week or so I had to smoke out. A day smoke and a day air.
Oh boy.
I was
What and what?
Change wrong, you know. I did all these things. I could have sold every time I left the sausage there on to a friend and said, "Buy it," I could have sold the whole thing. the vegan type,
Yeah.
but I made it according to recipe.
Have you ever eaten any of Bob's smoked fish?
Oh yeah, sure.
Very good. Oh, that's good.
I know, sir. Mr. Kraft, you know Mr. Kraft. He smoked fish, but he wasn't smoking the fish properly. He smoked the fish and that's the whole on the inside. A fish has to be smoked and has to be absolutely gone through.
Cold smoke.
Yeah. And here, the smoke, see then you eat smoked fish and the outside is nicely smoked and then the inside is whole. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That fish is dangerous.
No,
That's
no.
cold smoking.
That's what I didn't like.
So what's, if you had your choice of anything to eat right now, what would you eat?
I would eat the smoked soda.
Smoked what?
Gold eye.
Gold eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winnipeg gold eye.
You'd eat that?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
They're the best.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
How
would
about you? I've always heard that too. I've never tasted it.
I have never tasted it
They're
either.
one of the best, yeah.
Yeah.
But the pike, what the hell, is nice too. Only it has to be done properly,
Yeah.
you know.
It's funny, you know, I like swordfish. Swordfish steak is good.
Where do you get it?
Spain.
I'm not gonna be able to eat it.
But you take that lady, like, down the coast, she's dying from pneumatic disease, too much mercury in the system.
Oh,
She was eating a lot of fish down the coast. So her husband, he's done a lot of research, and he says, now these plants, squamish or something, he says, they've got so much mercury in the cancer, they don't know where it all goes. They're losing about 80%. They don't know where it all goes.
You know where it's going.
Yeah,
There's no mystery.
it's going into the ocean,
Sure.
one way or the other.
No mystery.
So they've been talking this, apparently she's dying of this pneumatic disease.
You know what it does? Mercury ties up your enzymes.
Yeah.
One of the heavy metals,
Yeah.
like lead.
See, the thing is, it's accumulative. It accumulates. You take a little bit.
Yeah.
See, a while back they told you not to eat big fish out of Lake Okanagan on account of the pollution and mercury. So you see, you take a 20-year-old fish, well, it's gathered this mercury a long time. You eat it, you're going to gather it too.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of fish.
Oh, I know. I'm not so fussy. I catch lots of fish, but I'm not so fussy
But
about
see, if you're on a study, there's a chap that's a biologist. He went over to Japan and he interviewed and did a research
Hi.
on all the
Jeffrey.
these Japanese
Are you planning to
have
go?
been eating fish,
Or,
morning, noon and night. And they developed this pneumatic disease, mercury
It
poison.
would just aggravate your cough.
And
Yeah.
he was telling us all about it. He says if
Go up
you eat
there, up
some
there and down, Bob, okay.
in 30 days, you get rid of most of them, flush out. But if it builds up enough in the fish, the older the fish, the more, the more there's in it.
That's right, yeah, the food
Yeah.
chain builds
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Each little mineral gives them so much.
Yeah.
And then it anchors in the fish.
yeah. So this woman, she's been trying.
That's why we can't eat bread. No way.
she's been
Bread's so full of mercury from eating those fish.
Yeah. No, but she was on a steady diet for about 15 years,
Yeah.
and she ate a lot of fish, and it's gradually built up.
That's why we can't eat you, Fred.
I can't eat no fish neither.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got it, that's kind of. But actually, some of us would be dangerous with the.
Oh yeah, every day whatever you eat, you'd be surprised what you eat.
You know, those tigers or those cougars around here would be in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, things build up over the years.
Yeah, a good running stream like.
Okay, now what would you have with your smoked gold eye? What else would you eat?
Nothing.
Beer.
Beer?
Yeah.
What kind?
Oh,
Some of that old Princeton stuff?
no, good beer.
What brand?
Well, good beer.
What brand?
Well,
it changes all the time.
so much change now with the beer. But right now
Well, there's a couple of cars and breweries in the States,
yeah,
isn't there?
What? Sure. Ritz?
and beer that has the old system.
Yeah.
There's only one brewery in the States.
Which one?
I don't know.
Budweiser?
I don't know. But has still the old Kreuzen system.
Maybe that's Anheuser-Busch?
Might be.
Anheuser-Busch.
But they're losing much money on that. See, that beer has to be at least 2 months old before it's going on the
They
market.
can't afford to wait that
And
long.
they can't afford to lose the wages, the interest.
Yeah.
See, we used to have our winter thousands of gallons of beer in it, out for fruit in the fall, ready for the summer, you know, on the whole cellars. Now the cellars, they don't need them anymore.
No.
They're all empty.
Ship them out right away.
Okay, now your second most favorite meal. Your second most favorite meal, what would that be?
Oh, let's see.
Viennese Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel.
You think it would?
Might be not bad.
Yeah?
Might be not bad. Properly fried.
Yeah.
Not too much and not enough either.
Yeah.
Has to be done properly. And fried potato
Yeah.
and a little green salad.
A little green salad,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I
Boy, he's making me hungry.
Yeah.
Look at Bob, his tongue is dripping out.
And then a bottle of beer
Yeah.
and a glass beer before breakfast, before eat. That makes me hungry. You know, on the rest of the beer after,
Yeah.
on the bottle.
Nothing during the meal.
But
No beer during the meal.
no,
Yeah.
only in the ahead.
And
On the after.
Yeah.
No, the beer was good. Here, have another thing. There's nobody drinks this stuff. But,
Only me.
yeah, but
You know, an Irishman.
eat
No, I can't. You want a little touch?
Okay, I'll have
Body like that for
Don't forget, the Norwegians were raised on mountain water.
yeah, I know. We had a
It's
bunch,
called white lightning, akavit.
we had a
Akavit.
bunch of Norwegian on the
Yellow
boat
stuff.
when we came.
Yellow lightning.
Yeah.
They had their own whiskey
That's pretty
in the cup.
Yeah,
No.
in their pack sacks.
Oh.
It was bad stuff, wasn't it? Powerful?
And they never give me any prevention.
They did.
But then,
Well, you should be
there
happy.
was not a guy under 6 feet.
They were all that big.
I'll tell.
Yeah.
No.
How about, where's your beer?
But
Where is your beer right now? Don't you have one with us?
no. I don't want it so early.
No. I can feel this stuff burning all the way down.
That's good stuff.
But it doesn't hurt you.
No.
Little-
Bob's driving anyway. Okay then, if you could have any car in the world, any car, any automobile in the world,
Yeah.
no choice, money, it doesn't matter, anything in the world, what would you take?
I say this.
Would you?
Sure.
No question, huh?
Okay. And you drove from, and
If Bob would take a Rolls Royce,
No way.
you wouldn't have a Rolls Royce? No. What would you have?
I'd be happy enough with a little Subaru.
No, I mean, no question.
yeah, well, when you would go from Mercedes. Anybody would go.
Would they?
But in Ford, it's a good car too.
Ford. I got a Ford.
I mean, what the heck? Look at my Ford. I give it away on account of I had a week minute. I could use that Ford still.
Yeah.
I got $50 out of it.
Well, you're
few toes in that little jar. So Prince Albert, you knew John Diefenbaker up there. That was his. That was his sort of.
He came to me once. He came to me once and he said, "Well, I know." I said, "I know you too." That was our introduction, you know. But he talked to everybody.
Yeah, he was a pretty ordinary person.
Yeah. I mean, he walked on the street and stopped you and he says, "Are you a stranger here or where you come from?" and so on.
Well, he had his business, so he defended quite a lot of
And
people.
Gullinder,
He was a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
yeah, well, Gullinder was a lawyer too, was his partner. He was Gullinder was a Frenchman. Yeah, and he was later on the mayor from France after I left.
Of Prince Albert.
Prince Albert, yeah.
Well, Diefenbacher, he was German, wasn't he?
Well, he says in his early speech, he mixed it up with Dutch, with Holland, and everything. But in reality, what I heard from his father and his brother, they talked together, they were perfect German, they better than I could speak German. And they said that Diefenbaker spoke to his father only German. But he was an official in the politics and he had to be something else. That was all. But according to what I remember, there were Germans. You might have an uncle or what, but then he made himself Dutch or something. Eh? And Diefenbaker is some kind of could be a Dutch name.
Remember that goalkeeper, Johnny Brewer?
Yeah.
Johnny Barr. Remember him?
He was a terrific,
Yeah.
he was a terrific goalkeeper.
Yeah, well,
He knows the
no,
play.
Does he?
Yeah.
I know the people won't live beside me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you know the boy then when he was
Yeah,
growing
sure.
up?
Yanni, his name was different.
Ukrainian name, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was,
So he came from Prince Albert.
yeah, his father was Ukrainian, and they were Ukrainian. His brother was jailbird. He was in jail. It was his twin brother. And his sister, she was married to a bootlegger. And the bootlegger beat her up with a tuberphone.
Oh no.
And the sister was a pretty good looking girl. And there was another sister, she disappeared all of a sudden and she came back in the Cadillac. A real fancy. And her husband, and so on, I don't know, from the States. And she was in more trouble. She told the church, "I made $10 last night, and I charged 25 cents so you can figure out yourself how much I did." That's what she said.
Terrible. Well, you had to settle in.
Did you listen to this talk about prostitution in Vancouver? Did you listen to the talk last night?
Yeah.
That was on the journal. Barbara Fromm, she interviewed a prostitute. She talked really good, that prostitute. She called the police, everything.
She was today, eh?
Yeah, this was last night. She may have been on today too.
Today, that skinny girl.
Yeah.
Well, the other one, who was the official there, she talked only that on account of she was in school herself,
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
If you had to settle anywhere again, you know, when you came over from Germany,
Yeah.
would you settle in Saskatchewan again? Or would you come right to BC?
Oh, I would come to BC right away, but not to Prince Albert, not to Prince.
Where would you go?
I would go to, maybe to another station, or Soyuz or any place.
Penticton.
Yeah. And here in Princeton, you know, there's too many people who Oh, well, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, right. But I'm reading a book right now about this guy from Boston. Can you imagine? He said to this guy, he was up in New Brunswick, and he said, where would you live if you were going to move to Canada? Guy said, Hudson Hole, BC. So this guy from Boston, he was the editor of the newspaper. He up and took his wife, who was a ballet dancer in Boston, in the theater there. The two of them took off, and they went to Hudson Hole, BC.
Right.
And they lived there 40 years. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? He took this man's word.
You did it?
Yeah, in New Brunswick. He said, if you were going to live anywhere in Canada, where would you go? Hudson Hole. So the guy got the tag and went to Hudson Hole.
Because I was here in a brewery for practically 10 years,
Yeah.
and I could never say that anybody said something to me or called me God in German.
Yeah, they were good to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have took him.
Yeah.
I would have punched him or did something.
Thrown him in the malt
You
bag.
know, I mean, I would have said, you son of a bitch, what are you? See? Or something I would have done. But I had no reason to do it on account of there was nobody who ever insulted me.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it being here in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody came more or less.
Well, look at what happened to the poor Japanese.
Yeah,
The Japanese that were Canadian bird. Boy, did they
yeah,
catch it.
but here it happened to the Germans too. Look at my father-in-law. He was a big talker. He talked nothing about Hitler. Even to Diefenbaker. Diefenbaker was his friend, you know, and they talked about Hitler. I told him lots of times, I said, take the politics out of here.
Yeah, right.
And when the war came over, the war broke out, they put him away right away. He was in there for 3.5 years.
Well, you told me one time a policeman came around. Talked to you, remember?
Yeah, but I was called in the station.
Yeah.
My wife was in the family base, with young.
Isn't that something?
He was on, then the guy told me so and so. I see, I was the secretary of a German-Canadian club, but I did not allow any German stuff in there. I said, you can do what you like. Keep it Canadian.
Somebody's here.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can pull those smoke rings. Come on in.
That's very easy to do.
What did you do? Just stick your tongue out?
The new manager.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
He works at a mine, and he lives in that little apartment.
What does he do?
He's driving a truck.
Oh, I see.
A big one?
Yeah, one of the big ones. One of them transfer trucks, you know, who deliver the stuff to the mill.
Well, I'll ask another thought-provoking question, okay?
Yeah.
Where, if you had any place in the world you could live, any place in the world,
Yeah,
where would you live?
that's a pretty hard question.
That is a hard question. You have to think about that one for a while.
Yeah, I would live in Canada.
Yeah.
See, I like Canada.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like the politics
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah.
Like
I still don't understand it. You?
our mayor, our Canadian most guy there, what you call president,
Prime Minister?
is Mr. Trudeau,
Yeah.
and he's most of the time not here and does nothing for the people.
We were talking about that the other day, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but otherwise, comparing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Europe, Canada was a free country,
Yeah.
and you could go here hunting. Of course, now it's all
It's
goes
changing.
into changes, but they learn how to make the money. See? But years ago, you could go hunting, take your rifle and go out, pay $2 for a hunting license and stuff. It was beautiful.
Do you know what this guy that moved to Hudson Hope did?
Yeah.
He went up in the woods, shot this deer right behind Hudson Hope. You've been there, haven't you, Hudson Hope?
No.
Anyway, it's a beautiful place, up by the Bennett Dam. And he went out in the woods and he shot this deer and he set his gun down. A Remington 700, 300 Savage, a really nice rifle, bolt action rifle. He set it down in the woods, dragged his deer out, went back to look for his rifle, couldn't find it.
Never been found it.
Never found it again.
So,
Someone must have tracked
yeah,
it.
but
No, he said there was no snow or anything there he found it.
Oh.
It was early, you know. It was an early deer.
see,
It's probably still leaning up against a tree there.
Yeah.
people have a funny thing. Hunters should never set a rifle against a tree or do something like that.
Yeah.
I was teach from my dad, you know, and he says, lay the rifle on the ground.
Yeah.
Nothing can happen. When you have a rifle hanging there, all of a sudden the rifle falls down, drop, shoots yourself.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, I was very careful.
It's like another thing, never put anything on top of your car.
That's right.
Never put anything, just temporary. Never put it on top of your car.
Sure.
That's fatal.
That is for sure. You lose it every time you
Every
drive
time,
away.
yeah.
You know what my dad did? He went home one day and looked on the top of his car, on the trunk I should say. There was a German 35mm cannon. Some tourist set it down in the back of his car. Then he drove away. And it stayed right on the, that's a good suspension. It was
never.
and it never fell off, and he got home and there it was.
I had something similar, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I had something that was on my car and it came so too late that it couldn't fall down in front of the radiator or something. I forgot now what it was.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a good one. This is true, too. A guy went and he shot this great big, well, I think it was a caribou or a deer or something. Maybe it was a big mule deer. It's true, though. He shot this deer and he wanted to get a picture. So he stuck his rifle across the antlers of the deer. And he stepped back to take the picture. Guess what happened? The deer got up and ran away with his rifle. And he never got his rifle back. It took off and it went through the woods and he never did find it. I'm sure it fell off, but he didn't know where.
That happened to me, not with a rifle.
Yeah.
We were on a hunt. My dad took me along. I was just a youngster.
And?
And there was all kinds of hunters. You know, it was one of them days when they go hunting together. You know.
Yeah.
And my dad shot the fox.
Yeah.
I took the fox and put it in a sack, you know.
Yeah, in a sack, yeah.
And the fox was in there, and here he said, hello, you know, to the other guys.
Yeah, here, what I got.
Yeah, I got it. We shot fox. So, this is two. They all came together
To see it.
to see it.
Yeah.
And he says to me, he says, show it to them. The fox was there. This is a true story.
Yeah.
You know that on a pack sack there is a little slat in there that you can
Adjust.
adjust when you have a deer or put the legs out and carry it up. That fox must have gone through that little slide, you know.
Snuck away.
Snuck away. Oh, we were standing there. We were standing there. We didn't see it.
Yeah.
It must have been very miserable when you opened it up and there's no
Oh,
fox.
my dad. That's the first time in my life when my dad got a red face.
Oh, yeah.
He was so embarrassed. He says, what did you do? I said, I put it in there. The fox was just stunned or what they call it. And then when the time was right, he ran away.
Sneaked out.
And he sneaked away.
That was a crafty fox. That was a real.
I tried trapping fox, boy, and I can appreciate that. A fox is a smart animal, especially if they live around town. You know, if they've been around people.
Yeah.
If you get them in a pure wilderness area, they're not nearly as crafty.
They're more
They've been dodging every dog and kid with a slingshot around his dog.
They're more violent, you know.
Yeah.
Well, this happened. Mine that when I saw my dad got a red face. He was so cheap, he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
He said to me, "What did you do with it?" I said, "I put it in the sack."
Yeah.
Then they went and looked.
And you could see where he
Find a couple of hair
where he creeped out.
or creeped out, you know, the stuff. There was a hunt, you know, in their own country when you have a private hunting ground. In the fall you invite friends and you go for
It's a big occasion.
yeah, and then you shoot everything down what is
Inside.
yeah.
Oh, it's like a club, really.
Yeah.
Germany. All the landowners that get together and they send out. That's how they harvest the.
We had to
Keep them under control.
you know, I tell you something. My dad had an hunting ground. The name was Schargee, was the town, small town. And there so much ground, I don't know how big. He paid so much per year for it, and it was his. And he had a pastor who looked after him, you know. And my sister and me, when we were in Germany, that 2-3 years ago, or when I was, she went to that place where my dad had an hunting place. And she says, I was a youngster when I was in that hunting with that hunting. No,
5 or 6 years old.
yeah. And then she said to me, she says, let's go over the street and see these people, these friends who are living in that same town, Siegen.
Yeah. See if they remember.
And she said, so I went there and I said, that's the place where we used to live.
Then you remembered.
As a kid, I remember.
And you didn't. She didn't point it out.
No, I pointed it out.
You pointed it out.
The big stairway was on there.
Yeah.
I said, that's the place where we used to live.
Yeah.
That's what went in my head as a kid, you know.
She couldn't remember your sister.
Oh, well, she knows, but she was waiting for me.
Oh, yeah.
I could find.
Oh, I see, yeah.
She was older even.
I'll tell you a good one about the similar to your sack one with the fox.
Yeah.
When I was about 19, I worked for the government in Minnesota. We were working with waterfowl, ducks and stuff, and we would catch them and put little aluminum bands on their legs so you could tell when they came back and all that kind of stuff and how many they were coming back. And so we found out about mallards. Mallards are just like fox. They're really smart duck. And so we put a net on the end of the lake and drive the ducks in.
Yeah.
And the mallard hens would take their young ones and go around the net and walk across the land to the next lake, to the next pond.
Yeah.
The others would go right in, but those little mallard hens, they were smart boys. They would take and they'd have a whole slug of them, like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
And sometimes the little ones would be as big as the mother, or bigger. Because she'd work her, everything off her body trying to raise these 12 little ones. She'd be the scrawniest one of the bunch, but she'd be out in front, and all these 12 or so would be tailing along through the grass after her. Well, anyway, we went up there, and we saw this bunch going over the hill. So we said, we're going to get those babies, that's the last time. So we spread out and skirmished them, and we got in there. I had a net, and this other guy had a net. And we picked the young ones up. They flatten out, in the, right in the middle of a field. We think that they know that they couldn't see them. She gave a squawk and they all flattened out. He did. So I was picking them up and chucking them in my net, and this other guy was picking them up and chucking them in his net. And we got to the other end of the lake and we picked up as many as we could, and then the rest of them got in the lake. And we looked in our nets, and I forget whether it was he or I had a big hole in the bottom of the net. And I was throwing them or he was throwing them in, and they were just going right off behind us.
I mean, this happened.
That happened, that was true. And another similar, this guy had a box on the end of his dock for the pike.
Yeah.
When he catch the pike, he didn't want to eat him that day, he'd throw him in the box. And then there was a lid. One day I went to look in there, I lifted the lid. The pike was just waiting for that. The lid came up and he went right by me. Look at that doggone torpedo going.
Right into the lake.
Yeah. He was just waiting. You could tell that baby. He had it all figured out. He knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. Instinct. He was just waiting, eh?
Just waiting.
Coiled up like a rattlesnake.
Yeah, just ready to go. And another time, there was another box like that, and I threw fish in there. And a couple days along, I went to get them, and I found the bottom was rusted out. The screen was gone. I was chucking fish in there, they were just swimming off the bottom.
The instinct of an animal,
Yeah.
sometimes, you know. There's more brains in a human being.
And another time, I put a fish in a creel, you know, Bob, those little square holes on top of the lid of the creel. And doggone, that thing jumped right back out. I don't know if it was... You would think it'd be humanly possible if they were in water for a fish to hit that hole, but he did.
Yeah, but I found out when... No, I didn't know what I was saying.
But fish, animals are smart. They they plan, they figure out what to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it comes naturally to them. Now, Fred, you see that hill, that bald hill way over there?
Yeah.
That's where that black goat hangs out.
Baldy?
No, not Baldy, to the right of Baldy. You come over here and I'll show you. I'll point. You see the corner of the old store there? Come over here a bit more, this way.
Yeah, I see it.
Well, come over a little bit, now 3 feet.
That's that in between the store and that shop there, eh? That's where you look up.
No, I'll show you. I'll point. You come over back here. You see where I'm pointing? You see that bald hill away in the distance?
Yeah.
A far one?
Yeah.
There's a little hollow spot.
Yeah.
Well, right in there, that's where the goats hang out. The black goat. I'll just see if I could pick them up.
Bob's got his binoculars out.
Yeah. That is not too hot, I think.
What you want is a good pair of sights.
Yeah, I can see it.
These are good. Because your eyes are different now from what they were, Fred.
Yeah, I know. You have to hold it a little.
I just want to find my number. Usually about -1, I think.
Talking about smart animals, you know, down in California, you know what the coyotes do?
Yeah.
They wait till the people put the food in the dog dishes on the back porches.
Yeah.
And they hear the door shut and the coyote comes running and gobbles up the food before Rover can get to it.
Oh, yeah.
They're smart. Boy, they're smart.
Yeah, you figured wild animals,
Yeah, I got an eye.
they are not smart. You'd be surprised how smart they are.
And they're different too. Some are smart, some are dumb.
That's true.
But still they wait so long till they find out what to do.
Well, like your horse. Remember your
Yeah.
horse?
Yeah.
That was a smart horse, right?
My horse was exceptionally smart on account of I didn't notice it. But later on, the more I tapped on it, the more
You realize?
Told me how smart it was.
Yeah. Well, Bob had 2 dogs. Do you remember Bob's dogs?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah. One was kind of smart, but the other one wasn't, was it, Bob?
Oh, they were both very smart.
Were they? I was just baiting him. I was going to try to see if I could get him
One
going.
of them was a mean bastard.
Yeah, I heard it chewed everything off up to the ankle.
Well, he bit people too when you would go there.
Is that right?
And that was that yellow one, eh?
Brown one, yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was a dark one.
I didn't like it.
Who was that one? That the one that chased rabbits?
Yeah.
Stayed out at night?
Chihuahua beagle.
That's the one, if Bob went fishing with the dog would go out in the woods.
Yeah.
And when Bob came home, the dog wouldn't come. Bob would call. So he had to go get him the next day.
Yeah.
Every time he went fishing, right?
Yeah. 20 below out of Lake, he was there next day. Of course, you look in the back.
That was that little one, eh?
The brown one, yeah.
What was his name?
Oh, he was mean. He was a dangerous bastard. I think he bit too, eh? He would bet people.
Not really.
Just take a knife, pinch him, huh? The other day I was walking by this house,
No, I don't say
and I thought I felt something on my leg. And here was a poodle about this long. It had its teeth clamped in the cuff of my pants.
Oh.
And I was dragging it along. Stupid little dog. It was sounded like a mouse growling, you know. And he had his teeth in the cuff of my pants.
You know, I always pitched at home. And my dad, when they hit that building was 13 rooms.
Your house?
In the out on the bottom floor.
No kidding.
And I had pigeons on the top.
You had pigeons, yeah?
Yeah. And one day I noticed there was a rat. A rat
Yeah.
was in the pigeon coop. So I took my 22 and I shot it.
Yeah.
I shot it in the eye.
Yeah.
And I go home, go out, and I want to tell my dad I shot a rat upstairs. And he comes down, we want to see the rat was gone. There was no rat.
That's like the fox deal.
Yeah, you fooled me.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So for years, and at least a year, I was still figuring where that rat was. And one day, we noticed there was something missing upstairs. And the old man, he said, well, I take that little gun, we had a little 22 or what it was, and I will see what's going on there. There was some noise. And he saw that rat sitting on that pail from the guy who was living there, who was doing the work. We had a guy who lived down the walk.
There was a pail there.
You know. And this rat was living there, didn't see my dad. And my dad sneaked on the rat and he hit it with the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
To find out, the eye was shut out, so
He was blind on that side.
blind on one eye.
No kidding, the same one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that guy we had there, he came from Berlin. He was Berlin. And he kept the rats. There was lots of rats there. And he said to my dad, he called my dad special name. Well, he was a big-mouthed guy, but he was honest and could help. So he had that rat in a